In this video, I am going to introduce Ayurveda and give an overview. And I'm really excited about introducing you to Ayurveda because it has been transformational for me in terms of my health, wellness, vitality, and and it offers great strategies for regulating and balancing our nervous system. So Ayurveda is the sister science to yoga, and in the ancient language of yoga called Sanskrit, the word Ayurveda is Ayur means life, and Veda means knowledge. And so Ayurveda is translated as the knowledge of life or the science of life. And it's really a journey into abiding in the self. That is a common phrase used in Ayurveda, learning to abide in the self. So once we put Ayurvedic practices into play in our lives, we begin a journey to powerfully move more and more into abiding in ourselves confidently and making choices for ourselves that contribute to our health and well-being. Ayurveda has 4 aims, and the 4 aims, the first one is to maintain health, okay? The second one is to prevent disease. The third is to promote longevity. So Ayurveda really is all about creating longevity for ourselves. And I'm a big proponent of that, especially those of you who are passionate about outdoor activity like paddling, right? We want to be able to paddle or hike or bike or ski or do whatever our passion is outside for many, many years. And taking care of ourselves allows us to do that. So that third aim of Ayurveda, promoting longevity, is important. And the last aim of Ayurveda is to attain inner peace, which is the abiding in the self idea. So that's a little overview of Ayurveda, and now I'm going to give you a little bit more in depth of how it works. So Ayurveda is also based on the idea that we are nature, and that there are 5 elements in nature, and those 5 elements are earth, water, fire, air, and ether or space. Okay? Those 5 elements exist out in nature, and because we are nature, they also exist within our bodies. Yeah? And each of those 5 elements has qualities associated with them. And so you think of earth. Earth is static and heavy and dense. Yeah. Water is wet, liquid, and it's also cool. Fire is hot and sharp, right? And fire spreads easily. If the wind picks up, fire spreads. Air is mobile, it moves. Think of the wind. It's also dry and light, and it's also rough. Okay, and then ether is, right, space is clear and subtle. Can't see space, very, very subtle. Okay, and so each of the 5 elements has certain qualities associated with it. In Ayurveda, there are actually 20 qualities of nature, and I'm not going to go over all 20. This is just to give you an idea of how Ayurveda works, and maybe you want to dive in a little deeper and study more or meet with a practitioner to get even more information. But for now, just have the idea that each element has qualities associated with it. Yeah. Ayurveda organizes those 5 elements into 3 doshas or constitutions. Okay? And we're each born with a specific, unique constitution. The constitutions are kapha, or kapha, which is earth, water, pitta, which is fire and water, but mainly fire, Vata, which is air and ether. Okay? And although every one of us has all 5 elements in our bodies, right? The organization of the doshas, or the constitutions, helps us better understand, or more easily be able to apply this knowledge to our health and wellness. Yeah. And so we've got the 3 constitutions. The word dosha can be translated as, we think of it as constitution, but it also means that which is most likely to go out of balance. Okay, so if you're, well, let me pause there and get my nice whiteboard out where I have this written down, and it'll also be in the notes. Okay, so we've got earth element, and I wrote down a few of the qualities. Right, we've got heavy and static. Yeah. And I've got water, wet and cool. Earth and water create kapha, okay? Someone who is predominantly kapha constitution tends to be have a slow digestion, right? Is big boned, but also has lustrous eyes and hair and skin. Tends to gain weight easily. Right, is loving and compassionate when in balance, and when out of balance in the mind can be attached, greedy, and tend towards depression. Right, so I hope you can see that on the screen without too much reflection. So that's kapha, earth, water, right? So these qualities, you can see these qualities over here in the manifestation, the physical and mental manifestation of someone with kapha constitution. And then we've got pitta, so fire, hot and sharp, and pitta is technically fire with water, but mostly fire. We think of it mostly as the fire element. And someone with a pitta constitution is very athletic naturally and muscular, focused, ambitious, and driven, right? And out of balance, they tend towards feelings of anger and jealousy, and self-absorption. And their digestion, pittas have great digestion, usually when in balance. They can eat and digest pretty much anything, right? So those are your naturally athletic people that, you see them and they have like perfect muscle tone without working out that much, and they seem to be able to eat just about anything. Then we've got vata, all right, or so air and ether, and let me hold this over here. Air and ether, so dry, mobile, light, subtle, clear, and that creates vata. And they tend to be thin and light as far as body goes. They're very creative and have big ideas. Out of balance, they tend to be flighty and anxious, and their digestion is variable. So with ups and downs, sometimes their digestion feels great and other times not so great. Okay, so these are the constitutions, the 3 doshas, and like I said before, and by the way, all this will be in the notes as well in this lesson. Okay, so keeping all of that in mind with the constitutions and the qualities. So because dosha can be translated as that which goes out of balance, how we achieve balance using Ayurveda or in Ayurveda is by introducing the opposite quality. Okay? Introducing the opposite qualities into our diet and lifestyle. And so if, for instance, someone tends to be kapha as their dominant dosha, if they are feeling heavy and lethargic and gaining weight, and I look at their diet and lifestyle, and they're sleeping in really late, and they're eating stuff like cheese, wet and heavy, lots of wheat, heavy, lots of sugar, very heavy as well, then those foods, right, are exacerbating or adding on to the qualities of kapha that already exist in that person's constitution. And then that dosha starts to build on itself and get more and more out of balance. Okay, so what's needed to bring balance back is to introduce opposite qualities, which would be light, right, and dry, and warming, right? Kapha's also cold. And so in a lifestyle situation, getting up earlier creates lightness, right, and builds energy. Eating lighter foods like vegetables, but not necessarily salads, and I'll get to that a little bit later in a different module. But steamed veggies, for instance, eating less wheat, eating less, avoiding cheese. So, and eating smaller portions, anything to bring in those light qualities, right, to counteract the heavy and wet and static qualities that already exist in kapha. Okay, same thing, someone who's very pitta and it's the heat of summer and they've been eating lots of hot spicy food, and they're feeling agitated and they're going for a run in the middle of the day when it's really hot. So there I would introduce cooling qualities, right? So eating foods like cucumber, or pomegranate, aloe. I would suggest that they run early in the morning during the coolest times of day, right? Anything to bring those cooling qualities to that pitta. And then for vata, so light, rough, dry, mobile. So let's say vata types tend to love to eat rice cakes and crackers. And what do those foods have? The qualities are light and dry and rough. And so I suggest warm, nourishing foods, oatmeal, soups, stews, steamed veggies, right, to help counteract those vata qualities. And vata, as far as lifestyle goes, vatas tend to be very variable as well. Some nights they go to bed super late, some nights early. And so bringing routine to the lifestyle really helps with grounding energy, which is different, which counteracts that light and mobile energy. So I hope that gives you an overview of Ayurveda and the basics of how it works, as far as the elements in nature, how they're, and the qualities that they have or that are associated with them, how Ayurveda organizes the 5 elements into 3 doshas, yeah, and how we, in order to bring balance, we introduce the opposite quality in diet and lifestyle. So that's one aspect of how Ayurveda works. Another important aspect of how Ayurveda works is digestion and focusing on strengthening digestion. In Ayurveda, according to Ayurveda, digestion is really key to health. So there are strategies for strengthening digestion regardless of one's constitution. I mean, we like to tweak it according to people's constitutions. And there are certain things that we can follow to help strengthen our digestion so we feel strong and light and energetic every day, which is wonderful, all day, not having those crashes in the afternoon that a lot of us tend to feel and rely on that, coffee in the afternoon. So Ayurveda really has some great strategies for long-lasting energy through, digestion regulation and gut healing. So all of this, bringing it back to the nervous system piece. So as Somerville taught us in her intro to the nervous system is like a wave, right? Or a healthy nervous system, right? There's There's rest, there's activation when we need it, and there's rest again. Okay? Ayurveda is big not only on incorporating the opposite quality, but as far as regulating digestion and health, Ayurveda is big in daily routine and having a very strong daily routine. And this daily routine can really help us regulate our nervous system. So, for instance, instead of waking up and turning on your phone and scrolling the internet first thing in the morning, you would start with a nice daily morning routine practice that you're resting, right? You're coming out of sleep. That helps you come out of sleep nice and slowly, mindfully, ready for the day, activation throughout the day, right? And then in the evening, it's time again to have some practices that help you settle and get a really good night's sleep. Sleep, right? Great digestion, morning or daily routine. These are all things that really contribute to health and wellness, energy, and vitality. And so we'll be going over these I'll be going over them in different modules, getting into the specifics. But for now, I wanted to introduce Ayurveda, give you an idea of what it is, how it works, and how it can contribute to this nervous system regulation and resilience, really, resilience building. Because when we have a morning routine, we have something to wake up to. We start our day feeling great and grateful and set ourselves up for success for the day, every day, right? Instead of like, again, getting on your phone, getting stressed out about email, eating breakfast on the fly while you're driving to work, drinking that coffee to get that spike, and then, eating lunch at your computer. And Ayurveda also, and I'll go over this in a different module, talks about the importance of your mealtime routines, what time you eat, and how you eat, and how you rest. So remembering, as Somerville taught us, the parasympathetic nervous system is very important for digestion, that rest and digest piece. So these are all things we're going to explore, as well as within Ayurveda. So there are different times of day, and each time of day is associated with a dosha, and the seasons, each season is associated with a dosha as well. And again, I'll go over that in a module coming up, and really excited to share this information with you, and share this system, this science of life that's been around for 5,000 years. So my call to action for you right now after this module is to tune into the qualities of nature. The qualities of nature, out in nature, like what does the air feel like today? What does the ground feel like? And then also the qualities in your body. Like how do I feel right now? What are the qualities present? Do I feel cool, warm? What is my mind? What are the qualities of my mind? Yeah, what are in my body? Do I feel heavy? Do I feel light and energized? After a meal, notice how you feel. What are the qualities that are present? When you're with food, what are the qualities? Like what are the qualities of a cucumber, for instance? Or what are the qualities when you eat meat or rice, or an apple? And starting to have that exploration, because Ayurveda, and this is an important concept. All of this, we are helping you to remember things that you already know, because they're already within you. Yeah. We're just helping you within this framework of this course to remember, and that our bodies are our best doctors. Our bodies give us and our minds, well, I would say our bodies, when we're tuned in and our cellular intelligence is not compromised, our bodies and our minds really give us the information we need to know for our health and wellness. So start tuning into those qualities. This is the first step. So that's my invitation to you throughout the rest of your day today. Until you watch the continuing modules, incorporate this noticing of the qualities of food, of your body, of nature, and see what comes up for you.